You got to be so careful when you're going through these parking lots. All you need is like a car to just pop out. It's not paying attention. All right, like one of these right here. Just back up, especially, the ones that are like parked nose in. Just back up and hit your truck. So, when you're like at work, you're like, truck driving, and you're actually just driving. You're not really doing these dropping hooks. But those long stretches, especially you OTR guys, but us dedicated regional, whatever you want to call us, local guys too. Go ahead, stop. Let these cars go by. Go ahead. I do not like backing up when there's cars. They're like little ants, dude. They're like little ants, or like an annoying fly that won't get out of your face, dude. Here's another one right here. I'll tell you this. Please go. Please don't stop. Please just go. Please go, dude. Get out of the way. You are like all up in the way, just ruining life right now. Move, dude. Get off your phone. Oh my God, dude. Oh yeah, thanks. Right about these people, man. That dude literally almost hit my truck right now. Anyways, so when you're like driving your truck, right? And you're not doing what I'm doing right now, like ducking and dodging cars in the parking lot, trying to dock in, but when you're driving your truck, especially at night, when it's like an open highway and it's just you and the highway and there's not a lot of people around, don't you guys ever got, like you get stuck in your mind starts going like 1,000 miles a minute. You start thinking about stuff, problems in your life, or just whatever you got going on in your head. So last night, I don't know, I guess I had a lot of nostalgia going on, probably from the music I was listening to. And I was just thinking about all the fun that I had in my teens and 20s. I'm 33, right? My 30s have been really busy because I've been truck driving. Oh, now you're gonna walk behind my truck. This guy, dude, I swear to God. No, it's not what's up, dude. Just watch where you're walking. Jeez, and watch where you're driving. You almost hit my truck, dude. But yeah, so last night I'm like driving my truck and I start thinking about just all the fun that I had. And I started realizing all this fun that I had when I was younger is the reason why I'm truck driving now. Isn't that the case with most things in life? Like where you are today is because of where you were in the past, and it goes well on to your future, right? The bullshitting I did in my 20s is why I'm like behind right now in my 30s, if I'm gonna be honest. Because if I wasn't having all this fun, the opposite of that would have been, taking my education serious, probably getting into like the union at a really young age. And let's just be honest, right? Let's completely be honest. A lot of us feel like we're behind in our 30s. I guarantee you a lot of people in their 20s also feel like they're behind. But if you're in your 20s, you have to understand today's day and age is a lot different from like the past, like from when our parents and our parents' parents, like our grandparents, were our age, right? Things are way more expensive now. Yeah, so you're really not behind. Things are just different. I think of someone like Graham Stephan, all right, who, had this knowledge when he was young, whether it was passed down to him from his parents or if it's something that he read in a book. He had this knowledge that, like when I'm young, I'm going to, get my real estate license and I'm going to save up all my money throughout my 20s to set myself up for my 30s and for the rest of my life. And yeah, that's something that a lot of us should have done. But I was too busy partying and having fun. So now I'm a truck driver. Isn't that the story about a lot of us truck drivers? Isn't that how we ended up in this position, trucking? You know? But let's just be real, right? What would that mean? That would mean that like your best years, some of the best times in your life that you're going to have to look back on when you're young and single or whatever are going to be spent working. I don't have the money that, a Graham Stephan has, but I have something that a Graham Stephan doesn't have. All right. He has all the money, right? I don't have any of that. But what I do have is something that, money can't necessarily buy. I have a lot of fun, very fun memories to look back on in my 20s. I got a lot of fun memories to look back on, dude. Like going to Pappy's in Berkeley on Telegraph Avenue, and my homeboy's in there and he's drunk as hell, right? Like we started pre-gaming, or he started pre-gaming. Like I never drove drunk. That's one thing I never did, and I guess this proves that, you know what I mean? Like if I had all these DUIs, I probably wouldn't be where I am today. Thank God I didn't do that. But yeah, so my homie and we get to the club, and about an hour into it, my homeboy's like shit faced, and I'm over here talking to some chick, and things are going good. I'm pulling a number, then I look behind me, and my homeboy, he's in some dude's face. So now I'm in some dude's face, and there was no reason for my homeboy to be in this dude's face. Like this dude's literally telling him, like, "Hey, dude, I don't want to fight you. I don't know why you're mad. I'm sorry if I offended you." And you know that drunk look that you get, or that some people get when they're drunk? It kind of looks like they got Down syndrome. Like my homeboy has that drunk look on his face, and he's now I'm in this dude's face, and it just is what it is. There's no reason for my friend to be provoking this fight. He's provoking the fight. I'm provoking the fight. We get kicked out of the club, and yeah, that kind of shit. God, dude, I was with my cousin, right? And we had this chick over. Like for the longest, I was trying to get with this chick, right? And so, yeah, me and my homeboy, the one who got kicked out of the club, right? So we're out in Hayward driving around in my car. It's like 1:32 in the morning, and I call this chick, and she's with her boyfriend. Okay, this is how ratchet this shit was. She's with her boyfriend. We pick her up from her boyfriend's house in the middle of the night. She comes out, and she just looks a mess, dude. Like she has like stains, like one of them is like in the back, and it looks like one of those stains. It just, and like her socks, dude. It was all it was so bad, dude. We pick her up, we take her home. So we're in Hayward. We drive all the way back to my dad's house in West Oakland, and we're there chilling. And then the next day, my homeboy takes off. He goes home, and it's just me and my cousin and this chick, and she starts telling us about this girl that she's dating, and it's all good, and like they've actually like hooked up and everything. And my homeboy's like, "Oh wow, I know her." Like in my cousin actually knows this chick that she's talking about. Not just like he follows her on Instagram, or it's an acquaintance of an acquaintance. Like, no, dude actually real life like knows this chick like really good. You know what I mean? We go and pick this chick up. And then once we pick her up, she's all the way in Union City. We drive all the way from West Oakland to Union City. We pick her up like, "Hey, do you know," I don't want to dox her, L. "Hey, do you know L? L, this girl L from over here, she's talking about, you guys are like lovers and all that." "Yeah? I mean, she's a pretty girl." And then, the chick's like, "No, I don't know who you're talking about." We got her at the crib. She's at the crib telling us just this bullshit story. I don't know. I guess this chick was like popular or something. Um, Not just that, dude. Like we take her to the crib, right? And she has her kid. And her kid is just running around the house, just making a mess in the living room. And then, when we took her home, she didn't even clean up the mess that her kid made. Like I had to when it was all said and done, when both of them left, like when all the chicks left or whatever, me and my cousin literally had to like clean up the living room that this kid, like Tasmanian devil, just destroyed, dude. So, we get back to the crib, and this chick, L, she's passed out on the couch, right? She's passed out right there. And my cousin's like, "Hey, your girlfriend's here. We went and picked her up. We figured maybe you guys wanted to see each other." She's like so embarrassed. She's like playing dead. You know what I'm saying? Kind of like, like those possums, they play dead when they're scared. She's playing dead. She's doing the possum, acting like, she's asleep or whatever. We weren't even drinking that day. Like we probably smoked a little, but that's it. So she's, passed out on the couch, right? when her girlfriend's here. And then she finally wakes up, and it's so awkward. It's so like this chick is literally like right here, and homegirl's like on the kitty corner couch in the living room, and they finally like they look at each other, and the other girl, she's not being mean or nothing. It's just really awkward, and they're just laughing. And then like my homeboy, he ends up coming back over to the house, right? I think I picked him up or whatever. I brought him back to the crib. And then this chick, Elle, that I was trying to hook up with for the longest, like now I'm finally like in her good graces, and she tries to cuddle with me on the couch. And note, she's still wearing all this nasty clothes from the night before, with the stains and the hole in the socks and like the dirt, like the built up dirt on her socks, dude. And so I'm right here on the couch. And then she tries to cuddle with me or whatever. And then my cousin and my homeboy, they look at me and they just start laughing. They start Of course, I get embarrassed, right? And then I'm like, oh, okay, all right, yeah, no. How about let's not cuddle? Like I was nice, you know what I'm saying? But I did like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, dude. And then like what was it like? A few months after that, I was, I was commenting on this chick on Facebook or Instagram, some chick that I knew of. Like we knew a lot of the same people, and I was trying to like, hit her up in the comment section. Like she knew who I was, she knew about me, and then of course like Elle is right there because she knows her too. And then she just starts roasting me in the comments, like all this, like he has a little, what, all this. She's just pissed, right? Oh yeah, stuff like that. That's the kind of stuff that money just can't buy, right? Money can't buy, the times when you're with like your cousin or your homeboy, and you guys, like you pick up these chicks and it's like 1:30 in the morning, and if you're gonna get pulled over by the cops, right? Like you're driving through Oakland and it's late night and you're the only one outside, and you go home and there's just like this whole shit show of a story of what happened with you and your homie just kicking it with these broads or whatever, or like getting into some shit, or getting into a little scrap here and there, or you're going out just having fun, right? Like Graham Stephan, and people like that, like these high performers who worked all of their life. It's just been spent working and making money. Those are the type of memories that they just don't have, that they'll never have to look back on. And that's something that money just can't buy. That's something that, a multi-million-dollar house can't buy. That's something that like even like a six-figure salary just cannot buy. That's the kind of stuff that I have, that a lot of these people, and that maybe even you have, maybe you have these same type of memories. Maybe you don't have everything that you feel you need to have in life right now at this moment, but you do have other things, right, that people just don't have. You might have these same type of fun memories to look back on your deathbed. And here's the thing, right? I'm 33. I still want to keep having memories like that. I want to set my life up to where I make a lot of money and I just do whatever the hell I want to do. And if that just so happens to be that one day, you get married and have kids, fine. But if not, dude, I wouldn't mind like another rerun of my 20s. I wouldn't mind it at all, dude. I wouldn't mind it at all. I really wouldn't. In fact, I think it would be even funner to have a rerun of my 20s and my 30s, because now I got some money. Like now I got like, a career and shit. I was doing all that in my 20s, like job hopping from like Tesla to construction to the lumber yard to temp jobs to Uber driving and side hustles and, just bullshitting. And honestly, yeah, this is why I'm a truck driver now. This is why I'm like, I'm making up for lost time now. Now, I'm not saying that trucking is like all bad. Is my mic on? Yeah, trucking is not all bad, right? I do pretty good. The thing about trucking compared to like, the construction trades or whatever, is our money is like up front, to whereas construction and a lot of other jobs, like even when I was at Tesla, you got to like work your way up to the salary that we kind of start off with for the most part. Because that time, it wasn't lost. It was just spent on doing other shit. Like I wasn't doing the Graham Stephan. I was doing the Agustin Ramos, right? I wasn't doing the whatever, like the, like go to school, go to college, make money, set yourself up for the future. I wasn't doing none of that, dude. I was bullshitting in my 20s, dude. Hardcore bullshitting. And that's why I'm a truck driver today. Maybe that's why you're a truck driver today. But like I said, you may not have what a lot of other people have, but you have something that they probably don't, right? If you're the type of guy like me who spent a lot of your 20s, and it wasn't always partying like that. A lot of it was just being just a stoner on the couch, just a stoner on my dad's couch. And then, even when I moved out, I was still doing the same shit when I moved out, honestly. To keep it real, I was. Trying to compare yourself to people, you could do it if you want. And if you really compare yourself to the people that you think have more than you might actually have more than them. They might have on paper everything that you think you should have, and they might be miserable, and they might not even like what they have. They might not even like the life that they have set up. Just think of that, I gotta get going. Peace out.